Jerusalem a short while ago. Well, let's get more on the impact of the conflict. Live now to Juliette, Touma, who is the Director of Communications for UNRWA. That's the UN's agency which works in Gaza, and she joins me now from the south of the territory. Welcome to the programme. What can you tell us in terms of the humanitarian situation now in the south of the territory?
Thanks so much. So I'm speaking to you from Rafah in the south of the Gaza Strip, and having been here just a few weeks back, it's hardly recognizable. I mean, wherever you look, there are these little structures that people set up covered with plastic sheeting, as many are trying to find safety and protection. These are the last families who have been forced to flee areas in the middle, and now the city where I'm in right now has quadrupled its population over the past few weeks. It's just so overcrowded here.
What can you tell us also about the flow of aid into Gaza? You've said that you're in Rafah. That is where the aid has been going in via that crossing. What about other crossings?
Yeah, well, I went to two crossings and visited those on just earlier this week. There is some flow of humanitarian assistance, but it's not enough. And then when you put that into the face of the huge humanitarian needs, children who are in desperate need for medicine, people who need to stay warm, they're asking for blankets, food, especially reports of hunger in the northern parts of the Gaza Strip. Much more needs to come in terms of humanitarian aid, but also commercial supplies so that the markets can reopen. There is almost no formal market here in the Gaza Strip.
What about access to water and sanitation?
Well, access to water is a teeny bit better, but it's not enough. It's way below the human average. The issue with sewage is absolutely critical. I mean, it's so visible. You see those little puddles of sewage. It smells. It's the same place where people are sleeping, are cooking, are eating. It's a recipe for diseases to start spreading even further. So much more needs to be done about that part, in addition to more humanitarian assistance, including hygiene supplies for people.
So what is your response to our understanding from Israel that it will continue this conflict, albeit at a lower level?
Well, there needs to be a humanitarian ceasefire as soon as possible. This 100 days have felt for many people like it's been 100 years, so much loss, so much grief. I mean, there's 2 million people in the Gaza Strip. There's 2 million stories of misery, of loss, of grief, of displacement. People are shocked. They live in despair. People here around me, where I'm now in one of our UNRWA clinics, said to me, you know, we've worked all our lives, we've saved so that when we retire, we have a dignified life. And now we have lost everything and we have to start all over again.
The Israeli forces, of course, say that Hamas is hiding amongst the population and in tunnels in the south of Gaza. When do you ever talk to people about that, or that you know the origin of this particular conflict?
I don't actually. What I talk to people about is about their daily needs. People here are on survival mode. They're almost obsessed with just staying alive, with finding a piece of bread, a can of something, some water, a blanket for their children, medication for those who are very ill. I mean, yesterday in one of our very overcrowded schools, there was a mother who came to me with her disabled baby who looked like they were dying just because there is shortages in a specific type of medicine. So soon enough, we're going to see more people dying, not as a direct result of the conflict and the war, but as a result of the siege. It's the silent killer of people here in Gaza.
Juliette, Touma, thank you very much indeed.